Welcome to the Scriptable Blendshapes Quick Start Tutorial Series. Part 1. Getting Started. After importing the asset, the first step is creating the required scriptable objects. Navigate to the Tools tab and open the Blendshape Management tool. Assign a skinned mesh renderer and use the buttons to create the scriptable objects for Blendshape metadata and Blendshape hierarchy. Next, it's time to set up a hierarchy structure for organizing your blend shapes. This step is optional, but highly recommended. Simply click the Edit Class Hierarchy button in the left-hand column, which enables you to create classes, groups, and subtypes for your blend shapes. When you're done, don't forget to click the Save button at the bottom of the left column. Now that we've got our scriptable objects and hierarchy set up, we can start processing blend shapes. Part 2. Processing blend shapes. We can process blend shapes individually in the Blendshape Management tool by opening the foldouts in the second and third columns. If you need to rename your blend shapes, you can do so with the Name Override field. You're also able to create metadata for default values, value ranges, and baking. For now, let's assign a class, group, and subtype, then hit Save and Process Blend Shape. As you can see, the blend shape moves from the second column to the third, showing that it has been processed. It can still be edited later on by opening its foldout. Ready to crank things up a notch? If you've got a lot of blend shapes to process, open up the Batch Blend Shape Editor window under the Tools tab. Assign your skin mesh renderer and the scriptable objects you created in Part 1. Next, select the class, group, and subtype that you want to add blend shapes to, and enter a search filter to find all of the relevant blend shapes. Select the blend shapes you'd like to process by clicking the Add to Batch button. If you make a mistake, you can use the X buttons in the left column to remove them from the batch. When you're ready, simply click the button below the class drop-downs in the left-hand column to process the batch. If you need to reprocess blend shapes later, use the Show Process checkbox in the left-hand column. Part 3. Game Integration. Now that we've completed the initialization process, we're ready to start using scriptable blend shapes in our game. Let's start by creating a new game object in our scene and adding the code bridge component. Next, we'll assign our skinned mesh renderer and the blend shape metadata scriptable object in the inspector. This enables us to use the list of human-readable public methods, which can be found in our documentation. If writing code or reading manuals isn't your thing, simply open up the Bridge Code Generator tool from the Tools tab. Once again, we'll assign the expected fields for our skinned mesh and scriptable objects. Now we have access to all the integrated methods within the code bridge at the click of a button. Starting with the left-hand column, we can create integration snippets for classes, groups, and subtypes using the drop-downs. First, select the desired grouping and the required method. If the method requires a variable, the fields will display dynamically. All that's left to do is click one of the Generate Code buttons to populate the window at the bottom with the code snippet. If you want more granular control, you can generate snippets for individual blend shapes by expanding the foldouts in the right column. You'll notice that there are buttons for both UB3 methods and Unity default methods. If you use Unity default methods, the code bridge component isn't required, but you won't be able to use classes, groups, or subtypes. Also, if your blend shape index positions change later, you'll need to update these manually. Part 4. Animation Event Generator. Staying true to our motto, engineered for pros, designed for beginners, we've included a no-code solution for creating animation events using the Bridge Code Generator. Under the Tools tab, open the Animation Event Generator window. Click the button to create a new script to hold your animation event functions. Next, click the button to add a new animation event. After adding it to the array, give your animation event a descriptive name. Next, we'll generate a code snippet from the Bridge Code Generator and copy it to the field below the function name in the Animation Event Generator. After setting up your array of animation events, simply click the Save Functions to Script button and it will populate the script we created with the required code. Once the script is recompiled, navigate to the game object with the animator component attached and add the animation event script we created. Finally, assign the code bridge component and skinned mesh renderer to the animation event script in the inspector. You can now utilize your newly created animation events to control blend shapes in Unity's default animation editor. Simply select them from the function drop-down in the Inspector tab of the animation events in the timeline.